Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Like if someone says, I'm going to buy you a cruise, I say thank you. I don't go out and spend thousands of dollars gambling and put it on their credit card as my unusual thank you note.
This is the plaintiff, Stephen Haas. He says he paid for a cruise for the defendant, his longtime friend. And now she's trying to not pay him back for the expenses he paid for her. They got along okay on the cruise, but he has to admit the defendant was a little standoffish. He should have known something was up, because now she won't pay him back the money she owes him for the food, drinks, and casino chips she charged to the room they shared. The defendant basically stole from him, and he's suing her for every penny of the $2,446.75 she took from him. This is the defendant, Kelly. She says the plaintiff gave her a charge card to the cabin and said it was no big deal if she paid him back or not. On the cruise, the plaintiff was acting kind of weird, but one night he came back to the cabin, and that's when everything hit the fan. He pooped himself, smeared it on the walls, the doorknob, everything. She was sick to her stomach. They had to change rooms, and then she didn't really speak to him after that. Next thing she knows, he's suing her? Please. She's accused of pooping out on paying for a cruise. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for emotional distress.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
okay, Mr. Haas, you are suing your, I guess, former friend Kelly. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name for $2,446.75 in charges that she racked up on your credit card that she's supposed to pay you back for and hasn't. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,500 for emotional distress. Let me hear from you first. What happened?
All right. Well, Your Honor, I agreed to take Kelly on a cruise with me for my birthday. I agreed to pay for the
When you say
ticket.
You agreed, she wanted...
Yeah, well, I had approached her about doing something for my birthday.
Okay. And how do you two know each other?
We've been online friends for over 15 years.
Okay.
You know, we had dated for a little bit, but for the most part, we've just been platonic friends.
Platonic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
maybe you're out of this world friends, but
yeah,
I think
sorry.
I think you meant friends with no benefits. That's what I think you meant. Okay,
so
go ahead.
We had been online chatting, and I let her. She was doing the research for the carnival and for the cruise, and I agreed that that was something I was interested in doing. I'd never been, so with her knowing how to set everything up, I gave her my information to purchase the tickets for the cruise.
Okay, how much was the cruise?
This was for $1,030.
But for both of you?
Yes.
Oh, so you were going, how long was the cruise for?
5 days.
Okay, so you were, that's a pretty good deal. So you were paying about $500 and something for each person.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
all right.
well, unbeknownst to me, she linked her sign and sell card to my bank account. Did not mention it to me at all.
You mean she didn't give them well, aren't you standing there when?
Well, no, this was online. I gave her my information on the computer to charge it on my account.
Okay.
And when she set it up to where everything was going to go on my credit card.
So when did you first learn that she had put everything to be
2
eventually?
days after we got back.
And what happens?
Well, at that point.
And how much does she charge?
$2,400. I've got the selling sign cards here, ma'am, along with my.
Let me see it.
Along with mine as well. Those are my bank statements on top. The first one is the $1,013. That's for the ticket, and then the next page you can see where it's the almost $3,000 was charged on my card.
So she had one folio and you had another, but both were linked to your credit card.
Correct.
You charged $527.38.
Yes, ma'am.
She charged $2,473.67. Most of which, ooh, spa? Did you go to the spa? No, a lot of gambling. Club 21 activity must be gambling, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not lucky this trip for you. Huh?
Tell me
what
about it.
happened?
I lost.
No, I lost, Your Honor.
But why are you charging your... Tell me about this cruise. Tell me,
Okay.
what's the deal here?
All right, when he first approached me in January about going somewhere for his birthday, he had said something about going to Vegas or doing something like that. I suggested the cruise. It was easier, it was cheaper. So we decided to do that. He Facebooked me all of his credit card information, told me to go ahead and book it. I explained to him that that credit card that he used would be open on ship for this account because both of us are traveling together.
So, just give a different credit card for your folio number.
Well, I mean, I would have if I had had one, but he gave this to me as a gift. He said this is for Valentine's Day.
Oh, you thought that meant that not only would he pay for your cruise,
Everything.
but he'd pay for whatever excessive gambling habit you have when you lose, regardless of what the number is, to no end when, and you guys are platonic friends.
No, Your Honor. No.
This is out of this world. This is otherworldly, because this is kind of like, why would he do that? He's obviously miffed and shocked.
Well, so am I. I mean, let me explain. He had said, we'll take this cruise. Didn't specify you have a certain amount of money to spend. Didn't...
You don't see your spending money as different from the cruise cost?
I would if... He said, this is I'll pay for it. He said, my treat. I mean...
Right, but like if someone says, I'm going to buy you a cruise, I say thank you. I don't go out and spend thousands of dollars gambling and put it on their credit card as my unusual thank you note.
And
I just say thank you for buying me the cruise, which is what the guy did.
Right.
Why would you think that it also included every drink you had, all the souvenirs you bought, and any gambling you did?
Well, I had asked him, do you want me to pay you back when we had first talked about the cruise? He said, we'll talk about it after we get back. I never heard from him after we got back.
Okay, so now your answer is I didn't pay him because he didn't call me?
Well, there's two different answers. Because
neither of them very good.
Well,
did you guys have a good time? Did you spend a lot of time?
Separately.
Separately.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I went my separate way. I did my thing because, like I said, she was standoffish and didn't want to really communicate with me for what. Well, of course, now I know why. But so at that point, I was like, well, I'm going to go do my thing. And she went and smoked her cigarettes and read her book and gambled away. So,
okay, so go ahead.
okay, for the countersuit.
Yeah.
That's okay. When on the 11th we left, he got seasick for the first night, the second day, most of the second day. So I had to do my own thing. I met some people, talked, whatever. On Wednesday, we got to Nassau. We went into town, into
Together?
port. Together. He bought me some stuff in the port. We came back on the boat. I don't really remember specifics after that, but on Friday the 14th, which is Valentine's Day and his birthday, we went to dinner and we discussed going to a show that they were having that night, a talent show or something on the cruise. We talked about meeting at the lounge at a specific time. I don't remember what time. He never showed up. So I went in, I watched the show. As I was leaving, I saw him at the bar with a girl. That was fine. I went to bed. A couple hours later, I'm not sure how long because I was asleep, him and this other girl come busting in the room, drunk, giggling, turn on the light. I was sound asleep. He said, she wants to make sure you're not my wife or you're not my girlfriend. And I said, no, I'm not. Get out of here. Well, then she started saying, you don't want to sleep with him? I said, no, get out of here. You know, I was asleep. So they left. About a little while later, I hear him come back in, and I fell back asleep. Then I wake up when he leaves the room again, and I start smelling something. And I thought he may have had issues in the bathroom. I was going to just ignore it, and it would go away, and that's all. It didn't get better. The smell got worse. I got up, turned on the light. There was feces all over the bed, all over the wall, all over the door handle of the cabin. And I'm half asleep. It's probably 4 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know what to do. So I call guest services.
Is he there?
No. I call guest services and I tell them, there's feces all over my room. And what are you talking about? And I said, I can't get out of my room. There's poop on the handle. And he says, from what? And I said, I guess my friend had an accident. I don't know. He's not even in here. So they said, well, we'll send security or we'll send housekeeping. We'll figure this out. I'm standing there now for a good, I don't know, seemed like forever, probably 15 minutes. He calls back. He said, security found him, passed out in the galley, and they're bringing him back to your room. I said, okay.
How's that going to help matters?
I said, I can't open the door. And he said, well, slide your key under the door and the security will open your door for you. I did that. Security opened the door. I tried to bust out because I needed air. I was freaking out because I'm a little bit claustrophobic and there was just, the windows don't open on the cruise, Couldn't get out. I bust out. The security said, does he have any medical problems? I said, I don't know. I said, I just need to go. I need to get up on deck. I need air. And so I went up on deck and smoked a cigarette. He comes up a few minutes later, Mr. Haas, and he says, oh, they have to change our room. I said, yeah, obviously. And
did you say anything to him?
I was beyond mad. Like I was appalled.
Did you say anything to him?
No, I didn't.
Did you say anything to him the next day?
He said, well, he asked me, well, how did you figure it out? And I said, I woke up to the smell.
How did you figure it out?
Yeah.
Or how does he know what it is?
Because he knew what he did after he went into the room and there was poop everywhere and he had to get his stuff and move it to the new room.
Okay.
So I went down to the old
Mercifully,
room.
they had a new room.
Yeah, well, I went down to the room and had to gather my things. Housekeeping was already in there, fully covered, masks, everything, cleaning. I'm crying because I was so embarrassed. I'm sorry, I'm apologizing to the cleaning crew. Get my stuff. And our room was at the back of the ship. Our new room was at the front of the ship. I walked all the way up, put my stuff away, told him, leave me alone, don't talk to me. I need to get some sleep. So he did, he left, and I slept till about noon, got up, did whatever on the rest of the day, and then the next day is when we came home. And so my distress is the poop and being stuck in the room with the smell. I was having a little bit of a panic attack because of, I couldn't get out.
The inability to smoke.
And I couldn't smoke. And
what happened?
Well, I like she said, we went to dinner and like I said, tried to make the best mess of the situation. Again, she's not talking to me, not communicating. This was before what had happened. So she had talked about wanting to go to a talent show. I didn't particularly want to go see a bunch of non-talent people in a talent show. So I decided to go to a bar, have a couple drinks. Had met a lady friend, and we started talking and having a good time.
So you did stand her up?
Well, yeah, like I said, I never agreed. I said, if I want to go, I'll meet you there, is what I'd said. I never said I was going to go. Like I said, I was like, if I was there.
So you met a lady friend.
So met a lady friend. We'd had a few too many drinks. And as she said, we'd try to go back to the room just to confirm that she wasn't with me. And
wow, ethics on a cruise ship. There's a new one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I said, ended the date with that lady. Came back to the room, passed out, and as she mentioned, yes, I got sick, and I said this is when I was passed out drunk. So I woke up in the hallway, not knowing.
Do you remember how you got from the room to the hallway?
I do not. I still don't remember, Your Honor. So I woke, like I said, I cleaned up in the bathroom. This shouldn't happen to
grown adults.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen to anybody, but you think maybe you overdid it?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So when you say I'll pay for the cruise, does that mean you can take that person's credit card and also gamble as much as you want?
No, that's ridiculous. They're just taking advantage of their good friend. That's not really fair.
Do you think there's any argument you can make if somebody says, I'll pay for your cruise, that includes all the stuff that happens on the boat?
Only if they say an all-inclusive cruise, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. But if it says, I pay for the cruise, is it just the boat ride, or could it be gambling and dinner and drinks and whatnot?
No, just the cruise. That's it. No gambling.
Unfair to take advantage that way? $2,500 gambling debt?
Yeah, if they're just platonic, yeah, it's unfair.
Oh, but if they're doing it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
You lost control of your bowels. It caused the move of a room.
Yeah, but all this was going. She was gambling my money away long before then, Your Honor.
Like this is kind of. I mean, most people would be ashamed they got that drunk at this juncture.
Well, I am, but not $2,500, Your Honor.
No, okay.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Not $2,500 ashamed, but ashamed anyway that it kind of, got messy, as it were. And your theory is that his accident should net you $1,500?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Instead of just being one of those things when you share a room with somebody that, you know, maybe, I guess I won't be going on any more cruises with him because he gets drunk out of his gourd and then, you know, has bodily fluid issues.
I would have let it go. I would have let it go.
If he had just let go of your $2,500 little gambling bill?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. So let me tell you what is going to happen. I don't find that he gave you carte blanche to charge up whatever your little heart desired if you were losing. I think that he fully expected you to pay for your own amusement on the ship. His gift to you was the cruise, not 5 times that. So I find that you are liable to him in the amount of the $2,473.67. As for your counterclaim against him, even though I am sure that this was unpleasant, the question is does that rise to the level of conduct that is so deliberate on his part, intended to inflict emotional distress upon you, or is this just some drunk guy who lost control of his bowels? Gosh, I never thought I'd be in this position to be discussing such a thing. And I think it's the second. It's not some intentional infliction of emotional distress on you. I don't think he intended that. I think it just kind of happened and is one of those things that you are seizing to capitalize on in order to lessen your $2,500 gambling bill. Pay your bill. Verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of the $2,446.75. What did you want to say?
I have the Facebook messages from him.
Yeah?
That say my treat. And I also have the...
It was his treat. He paid for your cruise. Give that to me anyway. I want to see those.
Well, this is also the bill for the cruise.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, and some of them, he was in the casino a few times with me, knew I was using that card.
No, I knew she was gambling. I didn't know she was...
No, he assumed your card was on your own credit card.
Exactly.
Hold on. No. He says, find a good deal, it's my treat. That means the cruise, not your gambling habits. Then you say, do you want to call me with the credit card number or put it on here? And depending on when it sails, we may need to stay in Charleston the night before, but I should be able to cover that. It's the least I can do. So that doesn't envision that you expect him to pay more. It means that you're impressed and stoked about what he's paid so far. Like I said, verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,446.75 and the counterclaim 0.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the defendant's luck doesn't get any better in the courtroom here. You're on the losing end of this case. Why did you think he should pay your gambling losses?
Well, I don't particularly think he should pay them, but it wasn't up to me to read the rules to him of the cruise and the sail and sign account. That was up to him.
Going with him on another cruise?
No.
No? Mm-mm. All right. All right, head right down there. No more cruises. No more cruises for you with her.
Oh, no, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely took the wrong friend. That was for sure.
What about that story?
Well, like I said, hey, stuff happens. That's all I'll say about that.
Harvey?
Okay, if it's a gift, it has to be clear. Otherwise, it's a loan. They are platonic friends. It makes no sense that she would pay for his unlimited gambling. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Thomas Swain. He says he and the defendant are both contractors, and they work on the same job sometimes. Well, one day, while they were working together, the defendant knocked over his laser leveler and broke it. The defendant hasn't gotten it fixed. He's surprised the defendant hasn't taken responsibility for his actions, and so he's suing him for the $1,300 he's owed. This is the defendant, Daniel Tyler. He says the plaintiff placed the laser on a rickety table, and he was carrying wood back and forth, and it fell over. The guy picks it up, doesn't look at it, then places it in its box and tells him, it's fine, just go get it fixed. Turns out the thing still operates perfectly, but has a small crack in the readout window. He thinks the crack was already there, and the plaintiff's trying to get over on him, and this was a big setup. Deceitful people bother him, and he doesn't owe the dishonest plaintiff a red cent. He's accused of knocking things out of whack.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants are contractors. Plaintiff says the defendant knocked over his laser level and broke it. But the defendant says the plaintiff was careless. It's the case of laser. He hardly knew her.
Okay, Mr. Swain, you are suing Mr. Tyler, I guess your former coworker, for $1,300 in damages you say you have sustained as a result of him busting up one of your tools by his clumsiness. Tell me what happened.
Good morning, Your Honor. A few days before Thanksgiving, me and Mr. Tyler were setting a deck level, and my laser was out on a table out in the open, and I had my back turned to it, and I heard him say an expletive, and I turned around, my laser's on the ground.
What is your laser? Describe what this is.
It's a building laser. Actually it's a pretty expensive tool. It can set level, it can set different grades, it can transfer level lines.
I don't know what that means.
It automatically will project a level line onto a building. My particular laser has a receiving unit that will tell you what's level on the building, and you measure off of that to set the ledger board, which is what we were working on. It just quickly and easily gets things level and plumb for you.
Okay.
It reduces time.
Why was your level on the table? Was it in use at the time?
It was.
Okay, how was it in use? What were you doing with it?
We were setting the grade. We were setting the deck level, the ledger board level, and I was checking it, and as I was doing it, my back was turned to the table, and I heard Dan say, oops. He hit the table. I turned around. My laser's on the ground.
What did he hit the table with?
I didn't see it, so I'm going to assume himself.
Okay. Was he carrying anything?
He had his tool belt on.
Anything else?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
We reset it up. I did some tests to correspond to see if the laser was still working, meaning being able to see if everything was still in level with my receiver unit, and that was what was really telling me there was something wrong with the unit itself.
Did you do that in front of him?
We both did it, correct.
And then did you tell him there's something wrong with, did you discuss it?
I asked him, I said, Dan, you got to take care of this.
And what did he say?
He's like, yeah, no problem, bro.
So then you packed it up.
I packed it up and I put it in his truck.
All right. And then how big is this item? Do you have the item here?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Can I see it?
Bring it up, Yana.
Wow, that's not like the thing I have on my iPhone.
Would you like me to?
Not exactly
you
the
want me
same.
to bring it closer, Your Honor?
I do.
Right up on the statue.
I will not, don't worry.
Right this way.
Looks like the robot from The Incredibles. All right. What does this thing do? It emits a laser. I don't want to hurt anybody's eyes. Can you put it on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
You put it on the floor there.
Okay.
And what's all the other stuff that's actually, you know what? I'm going to have you go ahead and go back. I'm going to have you, since it's your tool, come and explain this whole little setup to me. What's still going on in there? What's that stuff?
This is the receiver unit.
Okay.
That would allow us to transfer, for instance, if we had used this line, I could pick that line up and transfer it perfectly level to that wall with
So that if you were working on that wall, you would know that whatever height you were reaching was going to be level with this.
I could make it level with that.
Okay. According to you, this thing still works?
Yes, ma'am.
You say there's nothing wrong with it?
That is correct.
If there's nothing wrong with it, then why did you take it to get fixed?
Because at the time, Your Honor, after Tom had done a test that I didn't think was adequate, I didn't check it at that point because it wasn't my laser.
How did you find out there's nothing wrong with it?
Because after sending it to a lab that couldn't work on it, the people said, had you done a calibration test, meaning myself? And I said, no, I had not.
So you took his word for it. You didn't test it yourself. You took it someplace that said you should test it yourself, and then you tested it yourself. So apparently you're not above testing it yourself. According to you, you tested it and it worked.
That is correct.
Okay, so is it possible to test this in here?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
That sound would tell me that things are level. Now clearly going up and down like this, it would beep. It comes into level with a steady sound like that, and you can clearly see.
If it's sounding off nonstop.
If it's beeping, then it's, that sound right there is when it's in level. When it's beeping, it's telling me I'm getting close to level. And right now, it doesn't matter where I hold it.
Right. So you feel that something happened to drop that, and that's affecting the way it communicates with the receiver?
Calibration inside this.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor,
What
may I
say
say
you
something?
happened?
Well, he turned on the vertical, not the horizontal,
Okay, so you make it work.
okay? This, it shoots all the way around the room, so it'll show over on the wall there, not just here, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. Now
So-
make their transmitter work.
The transmitter wasn't in question, Your Honor. What I
You're
want-
not listening to me. I'm not buying that stuff. I need the entire thing to work, or I want an answer on why not and what it costs to fix. Okay. It's not supposed to do that, right?
No, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So it's exactly the same test he just ran, you just ran, and you had the same result, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Go ahead and go back to your lectern and tell me what happened that day. Thank you for turning that off.
That day, Your Honor, the laser was probably set up for at least a half hour, 45 minutes we had been using it, because Tom had been rechecking grades and rechecking grades. Yes, I did bump into the table that day, but I also think Tom was negligent on how he set his laser up, how close he set his laser up. And generally, when we set up a laser on an outside job site, we set it up a good distance away from where we're going to be working. The area in which we're working, we have 16-foot 2x10 boards, which weigh probably close to 200 pounds, that we're carrying back and forth to help build this deck with. So with that being said,
Did you have a board in your hand when you knocked it over, or no?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay?
And did you know it was there when you knocked it over?
Yes, I knew
All right.
the laser
So then why
had been
isn't
there.
it just a pure accident as opposed to his negligence and where he set it up? You kind of lose that argument when it's in a place where it's open and notorious to you for, according to your testimony, 30 minutes, not 5, 30 to 45 minutes. You know exactly where it is. You just accidentally ran into it.
But, Your Honor, the point is, it had no business being set up that close to us. You just don't do it with an $800
Right,
level.
that's fine if the homeowner is going to sue him because it wasn't level because he used it negligently. But when you are trying to escape liability for knocking it down, you know, you'd have to show me things like, who knew he was going to put it there? Because that doesn't work. Well, you knew he was going to put it there because according to you, you saw it for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You accidentally, you know, not on purpose, obviously, you accidentally walked into it and knocked it over. What I don't understand is it costs a certain amount to recalibrate this. How is it that nobody here has the evidence of what it would cost to send it to the manufacturer and recalibrate it?
Your Honor, I did talk to the manufacturer. It's $400 to replace if they can't recalibrate.
What about recalibrating it?
There's a certain guideline, a certain limits within which they can recalibrate, and if they cannot recalibrate...
What if they can? What does it cost?
I don't have that answer.
Oh, come on. Of course you do. You took the effort
I talked to somebody on the phone, Your Honor.
You're going to make me get off this bench and make this phone call. I'm like the police. I don't like to have to chase you, okay? If I chase you, somebody's going to have to pay. All right? You know what I'm talking about, right? You're going to make me take a recess, go out there when you and I both know that if you spoke to the man, you're a smart guy. I've been talking to you for this whole trial. You're going to tell me you called them, you found out what it cost to replace, but you never asked them what it cost to calibrate. You just don't want the lesser figure. I'm not stupid. I know it may not get recalibrated, but I'm asking you for the evidence. Don't tell me that you never got it.
I'm an honest man. I did not ask them for that.
Fabulous.
That's it, period. I did
Okay,
not. I asked for how much
okay.
it costs to the replacement.
All right. Court's in recess.
All rise.
May I have the laser?
Yep.
So his defense is, oh, you know what? It shouldn't have been sitting in the furniture, the laser. Is that a defense?
No, it's not at all. He's working the job. He needs to make sure that he's watching his way when he's walking around.
But he's saying, well, it shouldn't have been in the chair.
Well, be responsible, be careful, watch what you're doing.
Okay, you know what?
Thanks, guys. Have a seat.
Enough said. Going inside the courtroom.
The very helpful Pacific Laser Company says as follows. In order to recalibrate it, it is $125. In order to replace it, it is $375. Okay? So what I am going to order is a contingent verdict. I am going to order all this returned to you today. I am going to give you a judgment in the amount of $125. And if you provide to me proof from Pacific Laser Company that says that they cannot recalibrate, that needs to be replaced, that judgment will then be changed to $375. Plus, of course, anything else that you would be out, like shipping and handling, in order to get that accomplished, plus, of course, your court costs. That way you would be made whole. As for your argument that it's not your fault because he misused it, that just doesn't hold an ounce of water in front of me. When you see the item, know it's there, and just clumsily knock it over. All right? That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
All right, both sides, hold on right there, please.
Well, here's the defendant leaving the courtroom. Step on in here and give me your feeling about this ruling.
I just don't think it was right. I think he is responsible for the way he sets up the laser on the job site, and that it shouldn't have been put on an old rickety table that looked like it came something out of the Civil War era.
Well, you guys have worked together a few times. What does this mean about working together in the future?
I don't think so. I think Tom burned a bridge.
Mm-hmm. All right. Head right around the corner. Let's see what the plaintiff says about the way the judge ruled in this case for you. You satisfied how this comes out now, finally?
I'm happy it's over. I just wish that Dan would have been accountable for his actions prior to this. I did make every attempt to get this squared away. We live, 20 minutes away from each other. He had every opportunity to make this right with me, and it's disappointing that I had to come here to try to get this resolved.
All right. Over to Harvey then.
Okay, so the plaintiff sent the laser to the company for repair. They calibrated it. It works fine now. So all the plaintiff got in this case was shipping costs. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Richard. He says the defendant rented an apartment from him. Then the very next day told him she no longer wanted the place and canceled the check she gave him. The next day, she changed her mind again and told him she did indeed want the place. He told her he'd need a cashier's check this time. She agreed, and then he never heard from the flighty woman again. He doesn't know what kind of game the defendant thinks she's playing, but all he knows is he's owed. He's suing for $1,450 for 1 month's lost rent. This is the defendant, Yolanda Felton. She says she told the plaintiff she was worried her invalid aunt wouldn't be able to get out of the apartment in an emergency because of all the stairs, and that's why she had changed her mind. She gave the plaintiff ample notice, informed him every step of the way of her intentions, and doesn't feel she owes him a thing since he re-rented the apartment and lost no money. She's accused of being wishy-washy.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant rented an apartment and then bailed and now wants her security back. But the defendant says she gave ample notice her aunt couldn't climb the stairs and he could have easily re-rented. It's the case of Stairway to Court.
Okay, Richard, you've asked us not to refer to your last name. You're suing Yolanda Felton for $1,450, the amount of lost rent for 1 month because according to you, she breached a lease. Tell me what happened.
That's correct. On Monday, January 27th, Yolanda signed a 1-year lease for occupancy on the 1st of February.
And did she sign that?
She signed the lease.
Did you sign a lease?
Yes.
She signed the rider, and she also gave me a check for $3,625.
Which represented?
The security deposit as well as the first month's rent.
Okay.
That evening, I did get a call from her, and she said that she wanted to give me the keys back. And I was confused because I had told other potential tenants that the apartment was rented. And the following day, I did meet her.
Wait. Did she say why?
She did not. I don't remember.
You didn't ask her?
I don't remember if I asked her or not.
Did you tell him why?
I don't.
Okay, so go on. I mean, I don't know. Maybe am I the only person who would say why? Like, that would be my first question. Why? You were all gung-ho. What changed your mind? Like, I would ask. Well, what was the reason you changed your mind?
Because it wasn't going to work for my aunt.
And you were going to be living, is this your aunt?
Yes.
Okay, and you were going to be living with your aunt?
Yes.
But didn't you notice before you signed a lease and wrote a check that it wasn't going to work for your aunt?
No.
When did you finally notice that it wasn't going to work for your aunt?
I noticed it wasn't going to work for my aunt afterwards when I rethought about the steps. I thought I could work it out, but there's like 25 steps. And I was afraid that if an emergency happened, if I wasn't around, I knew she wouldn't be able to get out.
Okay, but all the facts were present to you before you signed the lease. Nothing happened. She didn't get injured after you signed the lease. You know, there's nothing. So why wouldn't you notice that beforehand? So in any event, she tells you, I want out. And did she tell you that she canceled payment on the check?
Yes.
All right. That was on what day? The 27th or the 28th?
That was on the 27th.
27th. The same day that she had given it to you, but
That's
later
correct.
that night. All right. So what did you do?
The following day we met. She gave me the keys back, and I asked her what compensation she was going to give me for breaking the lease. And at that point, she said she had to think about it. That night, she called me, and she said that she's going to take the apartment again. And we made arrangements to meet that Thursday. When that Thursday came, she called me that afternoon. We were supposed to meet, I think, at 4 o'clock. She called me about an hour before that, said that she could not meet with me and to check my email. And she basically wrote me a note that she's canceling the lease.
Oh, let me see the email. Did you re-advertise the place?
Not at this point, because, again,
Did you re-advertise the place ever?
It was advertised
And did you
before.
re-rent the place?
I re-rented the place after
As of?
it was canceled, the 15th of February.
Okay, wait, so did somebody move in on the 15th?
So I moved in on the 15th of February.
Okay, so you are out half a month's rent.
I am out a half a month's
Why
rent.
are you suing for a whole month's rent?
Well, I don't live near the property, so I think I had to go there maybe about 5 or 6 times in addition to...
How far do you live?
Half an hour away. I do pay a toll. Verrazano Bridge costs
Do you have
$15 each way.
That doesn't get you. All right, you have proof of the stuff you're saying, like the Verrazano Bridge toll receipts? Do you have that? I'd consider that.
On my Easy Pass.
Okay, well, but did you bring me proof of it?
I did not, no.
Okay.
But anyway, so
Did you pay to advertise?
Obviously.
Did you pay to...
No, I used Craigslist.
Okay. But the concept behind court is to make you whole, to make it like the bad thing, the breach in this case, didn't happen. It's not to give you a bonanza where you get double rent half the month.
Well,
what is your excuse for not, you signed a lease, you change your mind. You change your mind, and then you change your mind again. What's going on?
I thought I could make it work, especially when he was telling me I needed to pay him $725.
Why? Because your aunt magically can negotiate 25 steps better when money comes out of your pocket anyway? I mean, that didn't change.
No, it didn't change. But
right.
I needed a place to live, and he was telling me I had to pay him money. I had already paid the money. I still need to get a place to live. I didn't want to pay him money.
Well, you stopped payment on the check.
Right.
So you haven't paid a penny.
No, but if I had not moved in, I would have had to give him $725 and still had to pay somebody else.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that.
Right. And then you decide, okay, I'm going to move in.
Yeah, I said, okay.
And then you decide again that you're not going to move in. What do you think's going to happen? Zero? I mean, in your own brain, you already knew that you were going to be paying half a month's rent. So what do you think's going to happen when we're in court?
But when I spoke to him, he had said he had other people, and he called those other people, and they didn't want the apartment.
All you did was forestall the other people by changing your mind and flip-flopping. If you'd have given him from the 27th, maybe on the 28th or the 29th, there's still people looking. By the time the 30th rolls around, you're out of gas. He's not going to find anybody until the 15th.
No,
you're just full of bad decisions.
No,
full of bad decisions.
Excuse me, but that's not how it happened.
Any defense here that the aunt couldn't climb the stairs, so she's breaking the lease?
No, she shouldn't know about the steps before signing the lease.
That's a good point. What do you think? Any defense?
I feel it's a subjective thing. If the landlord is a nice person, he should be able to consider.
And the question: does the landlord have to be a nice person?
No, he doesn't. But I was in a situation similar to this.
Okay, blah blah blah, wah wah wah, going inside the courtroom.
When I first spoke to him,
Stop. Did you sign a lease?
Yes.
You owe him a month. He ended up getting it re-rented as of February 15th, so I'm reducing that because he doesn't get double payment. But if you signed a lease and you bailed, you owe. Even if it's on the 27th.
Yeah, it was the 27th.
Even if you change your mind and didn't flip-flop again later, even if just you signed a lease, you enter into a contract to rent the place, and then you breach that contract by changing your mind. You have your reasons, but your reasons aren't legal reasons. I mean, we all have to make decisions in our lives. But sometimes they cost us and not the other guy. Get it? Do you acknowledge that? Do you realize that?
Yes, I acknowledge that.
Okay. I'm ordering you to pay him the $725. That's my judgment. Plus your court costs, of course.
So you've heard the judge's ruling against you in this case. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I don't think it was fair, obviously.
Well, she
And
explained it, that you signed
I know, but I
right
gave
there.
him enough notice, and he wasn't going to rent that apartment, whether or not he rented it to me or my aunt, and
You signed the
that's the way
lease,
it is.
and so you have to stick by it unless there's some
Obviously-
legal reason.
Obviously, I do, because
Right.
that's what the judge said.
Well, because that's the law.
Right.
You know, that's why she said it.
Uh-huh.
You understand that,
Uh-huh.
right? All right. So did you find somewhere better that works better for Anki?
I did.
Did? So everything's cool?
Everything is
All right,
great.
good. All right,
Thank
very
you.
good. All right, head right down this way.
Okay.
All right, so step on in here. You didn't get everything you sued for. Why are you suing for a whole month when you're only entitled to half?
Well, actually, when I filed the suit, I wasn't sure it was re-rented yet, so that's why I put in for a month.
And so you could have amended it, changed it?
But I did have other expenses in addition to the half a month.
All right, so if you wanted those, you have to bring proof.
Understand.
Right? So you don't get that Verrazano Bridge toll.
I don't.
All right. Harvey?
You know, everybody thinks, okay, if I sign the lease and then really fast decide I'm going to change my mind, then it's okay because the landlord didn't do anything. That's not true. If you sign a lease and 1 minute later you make a decision, oh, I shouldn't have done it, tough luck. Once you sign, it is a binding and legal contract. And the only issue is how much damage you have to pay and whether the landlord has the ability to minimize that damage.